Hey there, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, depending on when you watch this. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, however you want to put it. Welcome to another edition of Batman with the Show, Holiday Edition. Thank you for tuning in. Right now, just to let you know, if you haven't heard yet, we are off for the holiday season, and thank you for tuning in. We are bringing you a couple of episodes in between till we come back. We're going to throw some things together, and we're also beginning our process to reboot the channel. Well, not reboot, rebrand the channel is more the word, not reboot. We plan a new rebranding of the channel, and we're working right on the way. But we've taken a little time off to be with family and friends for the holiday season. So we're going to bring you a couple of nice little things here and there. And I know you clicked on it and you want to get to that news right there. We've discussed the return of Saturday morning cartoons on METV. METV, if you're not familiar, if you're just hearing this for the first time, METV is the channel you can get on your cable box at your local cable company, or over the airwaves via antenna. It is available in pretty much almost most outlets. There are some people that some of their channels have changed so that it's not available, but METV, I know, is trying their best to get back in those markets. They happen to be one of the fastest growing channels out now. They're dedicated mostly to classic television. And we're talking stuff like Andy Griffin and Dragnet and Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Saturday night, they have a great lineup. Everything from Star Trek to The Invaders, and many other TV shows, Buck Rogers. And they also tout to host the Svengoolie, if you're not familiar, the Svengoolie show, which is sort of like a Creature Features. If you've not seen it, he's great. Gives a crazy horror film every week at 8 p.m. on every Saturday night. There are Facebook chat rooms that are dedicated to him. I happen to be in one of them myself, and they're great people. And they have sort of like a roll call that happens every Saturday early, and everyone touts what meal they have, what snacks and stuff, and they show pictures of their family with T-shirts and stuff like that, the Svengoolie T-shirts, and they have a lot of fun. So it goes to show you have a channel that basically people are involved in. You wouldn't think that today in 2020, going into 2021, that you would get so much emphasis on a regular channel versus, streaming sites or, platforms. You got, like you're watching YouTube. YouTube is like one of the top platforms right now. Everybody's watching that versus television. But when you have a channel like METV and people are watching it, you get that, that concise moment that, a lot of people are watching, especially Svengoolie. But we also heard that they are returning back to the old age of Saturday morning cartoons and weekday morning cartoons. We got Tune In Me coming in very, very soon. They haven't given an exact date on that yet. Hopefully we'll get that very soon. That'll be the early morning block with sort of like a Bozo the Clown and all those other live shows that they used to have many years ago with cartoon and hosts. There are going to be various hosts on there. And also, we're going to get a 3-hour block on Saturday morning. And we discussed this before, and we said it's coming January 2nd, starting at 7 a.m. One thing is, and they knew METV this was popular, is that they already had bought the Flintstones. And Flintstones, they're putting in sort of the border of prime time, around 7 p.m. I think it's 6 or 7 p.m. that they have the Flintstones playing in the early evening, and they're doing very well with that. So they decided to go this way, and people have been asking Saturday morning cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons. And let me tell you, my comments line has been inundated, on all my platforms concerning this. The people, they're excited and asking, they're getting this and are getting that. Right now, we're only limited to this, and this is the schedule. I'm going to give you the schedule. And we got this off of goldenagecartoons.com. They're putting this out, and I did get confirmation on this. And METV put out, let me read from Golden Age Cartoons, what they wrote. Classic Cartoons returns to broadcast television in the United States in just a few weeks. Check your local listings if you get METV, which mostly everybody gets METV now. Like I said, there's a few markets not happening. Starting January 2nd, 2021 at 7 a.m. Eastern, the network debuts a three-hour block of Saturday morning cartoons. The network's licensed over 1,000 classic shorts from Warner Brothers, including Looney Tunes, Merry Melodies, MGM, and Popeye cartoons. And they even mentioned Betty Boop as being part of the Popeye Hour. The non-Popeye Paramount shorts are not owned by the WB, so we're not sure this time if MeTV has licensed those as well, or will they be running public domain titles? Yeah, I'm still waiting to hear from that. Which Popeye line did they get? Because they probably got a lot of the public domain titles. And that's basically, because, with Popeye and Friends and stuff like that, they're going for the older stuff, not the latter stuff. I don't see anything from, the more modern stuff from the 80s. There was one series in there. If I'm not mistaken, there was one there. So here's the lineup. At 7 a.m., you're going to get Popeye and Pals. He's strong to the finish because he eats his Spanish. That's right. The most famous sailor man joins MeTV Saturday morning cartoons with a lineup of Olive Oyl, Sweet Pea, Wimpy, and Bluto. Okay, so they're not pals. Also tune in for classics from Betty Boop and more. Then at 8, we get the Tom and Jerry Show. Ooh, it's cat versus mouse in one of the most beloved cartoon series of all time. Enjoy the original classics, including the Oscar-acclaimed shorts made by animated legends like William Hanna and Joseph Barbera, Chuck Jones from the 1940s through the 1960s. They also joined the other MGM cartoon favorites like Droopy Dog and Barney Bear. I'm hoping the Tex Avery stuff is in there. I mean, they don't mention Tex Avery directly, but I hope they do, because they mentioned MGM. Most of the MGM stuff also has Tex Avery in there, but I think they would have signified if they got Tex Avery, so there's a possibility they might have not gotten Tex. Because I love the Tex Avery cartoons. They're just so funny. Then at 9, Bugs Bunny and Friends. Bugs, Death, Porky, Elmer, Taz, and their Looney Tune pals starring the classic cartoons from the Warner Brothers library. And, they got some great stuff coming. Unfortunately, I know some of the real older stuff is going to get censored. I myself, back in the 80s, ran a Saturday morning cartoon. Well, actually, it was a Sunday morning cartoon series that I did with my late friend Rich Concepcion with Rabbit T. Rabbit, and we did like a Sunday morning like little things where we used to cook a little and do a little crazy crafts and shit like that. And we threw a cartoon every once in a while, and we got the public domain stuff, which was it was uncensored and stuff like that. So, there was, unfortunately, there was blackface in there on some of the things. And some of the things that are part of cancel culture that have been either edited out or put with a trigger warning at the beginning of each episode. I hope they don't put any trigger warnings on the episodes. But there's probably going to be some content that it's either they're not going to show it or maybe edit it out. And like the blackface episode, it was the Mountie one where Elmer Fudd's a Mountie. And he's chasing Bugs around, and then it ends with they're doing Camptown races in blackface. There is edited versions of that out where they basically cut that whole section out and they just go to the credits. But it's interesting that we're going to get Popeye, we're going to get Tom and Jerry cartoons, we're going to get a lot more. The other half that it's great about this is that it's on free TV. You don't have to pay for an app or anything. And I wish they had a free app like Pluto TV, because there are some areas where people can't get it. It's over the airways. If you haven't gotten it, you don't realize, and you don't see it in your cable network. If you have an antenna, pop it on there and scan through. You should be able to get it if it's in your area. And like I said, it's free. There are parents even saying that it's so great that you can get free cartoons that's not on YouTube or someone else, that's directly, that you don't have to worry about the content or anything of that nature, that you accidentally flip on something that you're not supposed to. and that you're getting it somewhere where basically it's, you know, that they're going to be showing it with the probably with kids commercials and all that fun, and then that's the early morning stuff. You know, I also saw a lot of people were asking, you know, for Quick Draw McGraw, Top Cat, a lot of the Hanna-Barbera stuff, even the Superman shorts. I don't know if they're still public domain. I know there've been some, what they call some remaster, not full remasters, but partials, which basically they've touched them up a little bit. So if they've done some remasters, I mean, they might have taken them out of copyright. I mean, put them back into copyright, but who knows on that? Because those old Superman cartoons, those Max Fleischers, are very old. I don't think anybody would want to make any money off of those unless they're you know, they're thinking they're going to get the original comic book fan base that would be buying some of this stuff once again, you know, or maybe they've gotten orders from networks like METV, you know, to put it on their systems, and basically maybe they're trying to jump ahead and make a couple extra bucks out of it. But it's great to see on there, and like someone said, you know, they want to see Tex Avery on there. They want to see, I mean, I've seen some stuff that they, you know, they want to see. What was that one? There was a couple of cartoons, and I'm trying to remember from the comments line that they were asking for like a whole slew of them. Yeah, they were asking for Thundercats, Underdog. Thundercats, Hulu just bought into it. So that's Disney. So basically, they're probably going to have to shell out a little bit more. If Hulu bought into it, they paid some good money for it. Underdog, yeah, see, Electro Woman and Dyna Girl, that's part of this Sid and Marty Krofft stuff. It's probably still available out there. You know, Dr. Shrinker, Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, Land of the Lost. Those will be great. I mean, this is just a start. This is just a start. The library alone is extensive. What they just brought into just this first shoot on January 2nd is a good amount. It's a good start. What they decide afterwards, there's going to be a lot of discussions coming soon for that they're going to be talking about this constantly. What do we bring next? Can we extend it to a 4th hour? They're probably going to have to put a 4th hour in or rotate these in and out. Like probably they'll do like a couple of months with Popeye and Pals and Tom and Jerry and Bugs Bunny, and then start switching them out for other series, you know, rotate them in, rotate them out on a constant rotation. But it's great also to see that, you know, someone's out there thinking about the fans. And that's a good thing. And that's what I say, METV is one of the fastest growing networks out there. And with the coming new year, we'll be talking more about things that METV will be doing. We'll be discussing more of that because you've been asking for that, especially Saturday morning cartoons. And we're going to maintain that level of interest to you, and we'll continue that. That's part of the new rebranding is basically more talk about Saturday morning cartoons and animation, anime, all that all mixed in together. And that's something we're working on. We're trying to iron out everything on there. But like I said, METV, Jan 2, 7 a.m. starting with Popeye and Pals, then followed by the Tom and Jerry Show and Bugs Bunny and Friends, and later that night, 8 p.m. Eastern, Sven Gulli with their movie of the week. And I'm told there are classic movies coming too now. They're going to be they're going to be running some classic films. I guess they're going to get a whole launch of that. So we'll see what happens on Jan 2, 2021. Hopefully we'll enjoy it. Like I said, next year, I've said this once, it's going to be a good year for anime and animation. You're going to have a lot of anime and animation because a lot of productions can't produce. So what's the easier way out? Anime and animation. We saw the other series that's doing very well over there is the Demon Slayer, which is like #1 in the box office right now. So you can see where we're going to. I mean, you have on one end one of the top selling mangas of all time, and then you have the #1 box office movie internationally, which will be most likely worldwide. And then you got all the great Saturday morning cartoons. What can you get more? More for the money, and actually, you're not even paying for it. That's the best part. It's free. It's free. So in the comments below, tell me how you feel about this. I mean, in fact, tell me what you want to see. I mean, I've had people put in what channel that their METV is on locally. If you want, continue to do that. That is really nice. You know, because there are other people that on the comments line that didn't realize it. They thanked me back and they said, "Hey, listen, one of your viewers told me that I got METV on this channel. I didn't even know. Didn't even know." So give us in the comments below. Hit that subscription, hit that like, notification bell, and share this video. Once again, I said, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, all those holidays all wrapped up into one another. We will see you back after the holidays. Do stay tuned. We do have other episodes playing. We've recorded ahead of time. Like when I recorded this particular one, we have just edited a bunch of them together. So you'll still see episodes of Man with the Show playing on there, and we're gonna have like a little special treat. Depending on when this airs, there's a special treat coming very, very soon. So let's push on. I don't know. Probably by now we're a little over 250. Let's get to that 300. So we'll see you again. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Have a safe holiday. See you in the new year.